Hey guys, it's Coach Andrea here, and today is Wellness Wednesday. And today I wanted to talk about emotional wellness. I know I've talked about this a lot before, but I heard a psychologist on TV saying that a lot of people have hit their emotional wall this week. Like they were running at full speed, they had this idea that I'm going to make it, I can keep going. Then we found out we had 30 more days as the news continues to come in of deaths and people are feeling the strain of economic pressure and just the news and being at home with the kids and so many things that are bombarding us at this time. People are really starting to feel the pressure of being at home and being inside. And one of the biggest things that I think we should be talking more about is just the grief that comes from all of the losses that are occurring right now. But one of the biggest things that a lot of us struggle with is this loss of control. We are supposed to be social distancing, so we can't get close to the people maybe that we're used to hanging out with. We don't have a lot of control over our schedules. We may be trying to work and have kids at home, and we're trying to homeschool and have to get on the computer and Zoom and all of these other things that we normally don't have to deal with. A lot of times we have the freedom and the flexibility to control our own schedules. And so when we're dealing with this loss of control, it can feel like everything's out of control. And here's the reality. We never really have a whole lot of control to begin with. We have an illusion that we have control, but really we don't. If you believe in God, and I do, I know that God is ultimately the one in control over everything. And yes, I can make my requests known, but like Jesus, at the end, I have to say, nevertheless, not my will, not the things I want, but God, the things that you want. And so here we are, seemingly in this holding place. Today is Passover, and we know what that represents, and I won't get into all of that. But even when the Israelites were in this place of deliverance and the death angel passed over them, there was still this journey into the wilderness, into this time of waiting. And if you have ever gone to a Celebrate Recovery meeting, if you've ever been in a 12-step program of any kind, if you have struggled with addiction or like me, recovering from sexual betrayal, you go into what we call recovery meetings. And in recovery meetings, we recite the Serenity Prayer. And so the words of the Serenity Prayer start with, God, give us grace to accept with serenity the things that cannot be changed, courage to change the things which should be changed, and the wisdom to distinguish that one from the other. So there are things that we have to ask God for the grace, to give us the grace to accept these things with serenity, with peace, that cannot be changed, that are beyond our control, that we have no power over, and to trust that if God is who he says he is, that he is going to take care of us and take care of all the things that we can't control. And then we have to ask for the courage to change the things which should be changed. So right now, we don't get to control what happens with this virus. What we can control are the choices that we make. We can choose to stay home and stop the spread of the virus. We don't have control over the quarantine time, but what we're being told is if we stay home, if we cooperate with this plan, then what we do is flatten the curve so that the time may not be as long. We can't control all the things we're losing. We can't control, like seniors that are their whole senior year is just being turned upside down. We cannot control the fact that some businesses have to close down. And if you're like me and you're a single parent and let's say you're a hairdresser and now you can't work, We can't control over that. But what can we control? There are programs that the government is offering. We can apply for assistance. We can look at our funds and see where we can cut things that aren't essential right now. We can reach out. There's help available. There are things that we can control. And as long as we try to hold on to and fight against the things that are outside of our control, we are going to, one, miss an opportunity to learn the beauty of surrender. There is a beauty in letting go and trusting God. That's not just a saying of let go and let God. We have to be still, like Psalm 46:1 says, and know that God is who he says he is, that he is in control. It's so important for us as parents to be teaching that to our children right now. If they're watching us still trying to grasp and hold on to and keep everything as it was, we're not teaching them the lesson of resilience and flexibility and being able to adapt and adjust and pivot with the changes that come in this world. We are not teaching them how to navigate hard situations if we're fighting to control the things that are beyond our control. So if you want to stay well through this, if you want to come out of this healthy on the other side, it is so important to cry when you need to. Cry over those things that are losses. One of the things that we do in recovery is we make a whole list of everything that we've lost, and we grieve that. We cry over that. You can even have a little funeral if you need to. But then we have to pick up and move on. So we cry, we mourn, we grieve, we may be angry. And if you've experienced grief, it is not linear, it's cyclical. So you come back and you do the same thing over and over again until you reach a place of acceptance. And now they've added a sixth step, which is the growth part. Beyond the acceptance, you don't just accept it, but you grow from it. I can't say this enough. I'm just going to keep saying it. It's my soapbox that I want to stand on. But it's so important. God, give us the grace to accept with serenity the things that cannot be changed, courage to change the things which should be changed, and wisdom to distinguish the one from the other, living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace, taking, as Jesus did, this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that you will make all things right if I surrender to your will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with you forever in the next. Reread that over and over. Read it to your children. Read Psalm 23. Be well in this, not just physically well, but be emotionally, be spiritually, be psychologically well. Take care of your whole person, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Hope that blesses you guys today, and I will see you soon.